I'm James Williams Jr. So, as you all know, I've been doing a case study on Hasbro toys. So I'm going to talk about a few things that I found interesting and things that I've learned. So I'm going to talk about the NASDAQ. I'm going to talk about their business competition and their top competitors. I'm going to talk about their promos and commercials and the formula that they use to sell toys. I'm going to talk about their target market. And I'm going to talk about the self-gratification that Hasbro has brought me over the years. Alright? So let's start with the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ, in my personal opinion, is a gigantic tracking system to track the stock or how much money they are gaining or losing. And that's pretty much all I understand about the NASDAQ. I understand absolutely nothing else. I am not a businessman. I have no intention of ever being a businessman. So now let's break into their top competitors and their competition. So the top competitors, I'm only going to go into three because there's so many of them that you can go into. So we're going to go with Mattel, Playmates, and Toy Biz. Okay, four. And McFarlane Toys. Okay, so that being said, Mattel is probably the most popular and probably the closest range of their toy competition because of Barbie. So the only way they could really compete with Barbie was with G.I. Joe and My Little Pony. While Mattel has Barbie, and they also have Polly Pocket, right? Which is basically a scaled down version of Barbie. Right? So Toy Biz has been known for Marvel action figures, which now the contract from Marvel and Kenner both belong to Hasbro. So now all your Star Wars figures and your Marvel superheroes are this size when they used to be this size to match the size of G.I. Joe so that they can sell more vehicles and more figures. That being said, they scaled them down so that when you go against a Sentinel, which would be this big, and you're an X-Man, you would be almost right. If I had the Sentinel from Toy Biz is like massive, but the superheroes are still not scaled to the Sentinel because they come up to the knees of the Sentinel, but they honestly aren't supposed to be that big. They're not supposed to go over the calf of the Sentinel because the Sentinel is like almost 20 feet tall. So Marvel winning the contract for Hasbro winning the contract for Marvel, total blooper. Scale model. All right. So let's go into promotions and commercials. So back in the 80s, a wrestler named Sergeant Slaughter and a football player named William Refrigerator Perry joined the G.I. Joe franchise. In doing so, both of them got action figures. Refrigerator Perry had 2, and Sergeant Slaughter had at least 7, because he came in to the beginning of the series Arise, Serpentor Arise. Then he was in the G.I. Joe movie. Then he carried on to the next few chapters of the G.I. Joe cartoon series, which Hasbro still has the toy line rights to. Hasbro also brought in Judd Nelson from the movie The Breakfast Club and other references that you can find him in as Rodimus Prime for Transformers. So when they made the toys of these people, they didn't really get the actual actors except for Sergeant Slaughter for his commercial. But they had kids play with the toys to promote the toys. They showed all the toys on the commercial, and in the Transformers commercials, the children would morph into the Transformers at the end of the commercial. All right, so that really would catch their attention when you see it on TV. Okay, damn it, out of order. The target market. The target market is clearly children, or children at heart like myself, who go around and just love toys. That being said, their motto, in simple, was, we want kids to play. We want kids to play and feel safe and play. And finally, let's talk about the self-gratification that the Hasbro products have brought to me. So since I was a boy and I didn't have a lot of friends, I've always had G.I. Joe. And in having G.I. Joe, I've always had a way to have a friend in a box, if you would. And each one of these friends would get me into places or go on adventures and things in my imagination. Because, like I said, I never really had a lot of friends, so these guys became my only friends. And that being said, this is a blooper. Because there's a lot of background noise, even though they can see those damn lights are on.